Kia ora koutou katoa. Hello, I'm Leslie Ormsby. Thank you for joining me. And welcome. So I just thought we'd do now Scorpio, our water sign, one of our water signs for October 2019 reading. And before I get going, I just thought I'd like to explain and remind those of you who are listening that these are general reads, and for the new people that are tapping into these are general reads. And what I mean by that, you may resonate with some of the reading, you may resonate with all of it, and some of it you may not resonate with it totally, nothing at all. So, and that's okay. So, because there are others out there that that may have something that you do resonate with, and some guidance there for you for what you are going through now, or have been or going to. So the other thing is these are timeless. So it could be something from the recent past, or past maybe a year ago. You could be right in it right now, so in the present, or it could be something in the future, okay, or near future. Usually it's within about 2 or 3 months in the near future. It could be even like in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So, just gauge it. The other thing is that I am an intuitive reader, so I don't actually use the traditional tarot cards. So I have a variety of oracle cards that I use. And I just, whatever I'm drawn to, I would, shuffle and pull a card out, or a card will actually fall out. So that's how I work with it. So the other thing is that, yes, these reads will probably cover like the sun, moon, rising, and the Venus star sign. So hopefully you'll find something there that will help you. Okay. Anyway, we'll get to it now. So, I've shuffled all the cards, and how I work is I'll tune into the energy of whatever star sign I'm I'm working with, and see what comes through. And of course, my guides and helpers are here to work with me to help me interpret these messages and the guidance that comes through for you, and from the energy of Scorpio right now I'm into. So I did a bit of a shuffle before, as I usually do, in a bit of in a brief meditation, and just to get into the energy of whatever star sign I'm doing, like I said, and which is Scorpio, which is you. And I shuffled these cards, and what fell out was harmony, okay, for this month. And so I'm using the Sacred Web cards at the moment, and harmony's fallen out for this for October. So there may be a time like in this month, because you'll be aware of, like a lot of you will be aware that we've, just gone through a 9-month, and this year is a really like a get cracking year and a finalizing year, actually, and a lot to do with relationships, relationships with ourselves, the relationship with ourselves, and how we respond and connect with others. Could be family, work, friends, career, friends. Okay, that career's the next bit, so they're just skipping ahead, so sorry about that. Work, friends, could be, just, your friends in general, that you socialize with, friends, could be relationships as in, like spouse, partner, or just, or family, whether it be mother, father, child, all sorts of things. So where they're going with that is that I feel like, in these last month, it was like the 9 was like a finalizing or ending, or something coming to an end with whatever it is that you're doing. It could be projects, it could be moving projects as a moving house, and relationships, once again, seems to be a big one at the moment. So you may find yourself like moving on from a relationship in whatever capacity, like I've just explained. It could be any form of relationship, and with that perspective. So some of it's not actually, or for some of you it's not actually fully about like the dissolution of a marriage or a friendship, as in cutting away. So some of you it will be that, and you're coming to terms with it, or you're about to be doing it. And others of you will be like, it'll be just, it's more that perception of that, of how you see things within the relationship. So some of you may have been going through an unbalanced period, let's put it that way. But now it's something, things are starting to balance out because you've done some internal work. Like either one of you or both of you have been doing it, some internal work and reflection. Okay. So, and that's what, and for me, that's where that is going. This harmony is going with that, and finding like this balance between, love and war. Okay, for some of yous, okay, love and war for everybody. Okay, but that's, like I say, it's across the board. It's not just in relationships, as in partner relationships. It's like it's it's across the board. It's kind of like this is really like big, but it's not. Okay, but they're kind of like going back and forth with it in the sense that it's really big, but it's not that big. So it could be that some of you have made a mountain out of a molehill, okay, and overthought things, and that's why it's come back. You've come back to this place of, okay, maybe I overthought that, and now it's like you've felt, because you've acknowledged that and seen that and had that epiphany moment with yourself and maybe with somebody else, and seeing it from another person's point of view, how it could have got that way. There's like, okay, there's like a different understanding about it. Okay. So I feel like that's where this harmony is going. So the harmony here has got, is related, the number 20 is number 25 in the deck. And interesting, number 2 for me is about relationships and in numerology, and even just in general for how I work with numbers. Is about relationships, and it's generally like how we relate to others, and ourselves in that sense. So, and then the number 5 is about energy, and as most of you will know, energy is everything. And if we've got the right energy, like the right energy behind it, like if it's a positive energy or a not so good energy, if we're like, it's depending on, it will have an effect on the way and how we communicate, and bring ourselves across with people. Okay, so I just, like I say, there's that feeling of harmony there now. It's with a lot of you, within a lot of relationships. And now we're in October, which is a 10 month, so there seems to be like a new beginning. So some of you would have felt that coming into October, and feeling it more now, more than ever, especially in these last couple of months. Some of you, it might be a couple of years, you're starting to really feel it, and acknowledge it, and able to identify things now, because of your awareness has changed a bit, and some of you a lot. So it's like you'll maybe go in there a bit when somebody irks you and whatever, or if something comes up, but it's like you'll be able to like step away from it, or just acknowledge it and then step away from it and leave it where it is, because it's like serves you no purpose, serves or anybody any purpose for the greater good of all. On saying that, but really it comes back down to you. It serves you no purpose for your highest good. So it's like, whoa. Okay, so I didn't really want to. I don't know why I shuffled that. Anyway, all these cards fell out, so I'm just going to go through them quickly because this one is shadow. So, and it's got this blackbird on it. So what I'm feeling there is a lot of you have been doing like a lot of work on yourself, the shadow work they call that. So there's the light side and the dark side, or the shadow side and the light side of. There's a shadow side and a light side to everything. Okay, and even ourselves. So in the way so it's kind of. That's where they're going with that. So it's like, yay, and there's a rainbow connected to that. So with harmony, I feel a lot more groundedness in there, okay, because I'm seeing this red triangle in there, and red for me is about, the root chakra, base chakra. So it feels like really grounded and rooted in there. So awesome. Yeah, so like I say, shadow. So a lot of you have done some shadow work on there. And then there's this moth here. The word on there is clarity. Okay, so a lot of you would have been, which means you've got seen a lot of clarity, because you've had a good think about things. You've done all this work on you. And look at this. This is kind of a look, liberation, and therefore you're feeling a lot more liberated. Okay, wow, this is like, and with gratitude. Wow, I don't think I really need to explain too much of that, do I? So it's kind of like, and that's what has, that's kind of like brought it all together. I don't really need to say too much, but it's like with gratitude, it's like when we go there, there's this beautiful feeling, of, and you will have felt it, being thankful for, or everything, or all sorts of things, whatever it is for you. It brings us back to that space of grounded and being aware of what is going on around us, which has brought about this harmony. And with all these things and all that work that you've been doing on, is like it's created the clarity and the liberation, because you have that feeling now, or that energy that, yes, I can do just about anything I want to do now. You could do everything you want to do now, but, I'm feeling like right now, it's like, and that's why they're saying just about everything, because things are still falling into place with certain things in your life. And, we're always evolving and moving forward into things, even though sometimes we don't think we are. Okay, so I feel that kind of like really sums that all up for that part of it. So, harmony. So I do feel like, and there's a lot more harmony for some of you in the workspace as well. So, and because of this harmony, it's given you a little bit more clarity about where you're going to go and how you're going to handle things. Like some of you, I'm feeling like looking in, because this is a new beginning month, with a 10 in there, are looking, or have been looking at moving into a new career. Like some of us, I feel like it's like completely the opposite of what you're doing, which is way awesome, because it's following, it's falling in alignment with where you have maybe always wanted to go, or something. For some of you, it's like you've just discovered, actually, or you've allowed yourself to think that and discover it and go there, venture into that thought. Actually, you know what? I've always wanted to do this, or I have thought about that, but not really gone there, and thinking, okay, I will take it on. Maybe not now, maybe not ever, but now I feel is the right time for some of yous well, for all of yous in a way, but for some of yous, there's at different levels when I say that, are more like venturing, like researching where you're wanting to go into and like pondering, and others of you, I feel like are actually stepping right into it now. And some of yous, like I say, have stepped into it. Like this could be, like I say, it could be from the past that are moving into it, have moved into it, and like literally like from the 29th, 30th into the 1st. They show me that's what they show me, like 29th, 30th, and then whoop, 1st, and it's like bam, that's the doors. You've opened the door and you've gone through it, and you've actually started maybe a new job, some of yous, right on that time. So that is awesome. So they're just talking about that being a really good move for you, those of you who have done that. And you might be, some of you are feeling a little, maybe I'm getting the word insecure about it. They're just saying have faith in yourself, have more faith in yourself, and listen to, because, all this I feel like is just like bam, bam, bam. For a lot of you, it's like, wow, and you're starting to see it. So just keep going and keep going with that flow, and there'll be, and that feeling with that harmony behind it, that everything actually is in harmony. Just, don't poke your nose in it. Oh, actually, I was going to do a crystal card, but okay, we will right now. They're going a little bit back to front. I was actually looking at getting an angel card out, but no, not today. So it may be that you may be balking on something too, or changing your mind, because it's like, I want to put the cards back and change them and do this and do that. So instead, and I feel like some of you, I'm hearing the word, like procrastination. So that's what we do, or just through distracting yourself with different things. Okay. Now I've had 3 crystals that turn up. Oh, 4. Oh gosh. Actually. Okay, this one is Seraphis Green Quartz. this one. So some of you, and I feel like the reason why they have all four have fallen out, some of you will respond differently to others, to one than the others. So this is Seraphis green quartz, that one, and this one here is Auralite, which is really beautiful. It looks a lot like not obsidian, what do you call it? Amethyst, that one. And this one is malachite. And this one here is aquamarine. Look at that, it's beautiful. Isn't it beautiful? So some of you, there's the green for me is like more of the like the heart chakra healing in there that you have done or that you're working on at the moment, and or could be more like and or going into the future. The aquamarine too is more for me. I connect that with the throat chakra, but just purely because it's a blue. And this one here, this purpley colour, I mean, it's more related, and the white in there and the gold is because it's a bit like citrine, the gold, citrine. But anyway, is probably more related to, I'm feeling more to the third eye. Normally the purples are, or the lilacs. So the third eye and the crown chakra. So there's a bit of white and a gold in there. So it could even go to the soul star, chakra or energy as well. So anyway, I'll just quickly read those out. So these have I'm just going to read the essential meaning for them out. So if you haven't got either of these crystals with you, because I'm not familiar with the Seraphis green quartz or the Auralite one, but what I've been doing, and just the suggestion is, like, if you can't get your hands on a hold on any of these, Google it, and then there are a lot of people who have some amazing photos or images of the different crystals, and you can just feel that energy through that, just through looking and meditating with that energy and just feeling into it, and let it feel you even. So you can feel that energy to help clear or unblock or get some sort of clarity from it, whatever it is that you're needing. So I'm going to go to Auralite. That is number 8 first. And I'll just read the essential meaning. There are a lot of things that with a lot of these crystals. So actually, no, I'm not going to go to aquamarine because that's just come up first. So the essential meaning in this book, and for these cards, and there are a lot, like I say, there is a lot more to them. But what she's written in here, what she's got from this beautiful crystal to write in this book, I should say, is enhanced clarity, calm, discernment, awareness, and acceptance of one's truth, which is, this is where this has come through, which is kind of rounds up what we were talking about. And like I say, if you're not in that space fully right now, that could be a really nice crystal for you to tune into, to feel into. Okay, Auralite, which is the next one, number 8. Okay, and the essential meaning in here is that it would be good for is mindfulness, meditation on the present. See, so a lot of you, some of you who are in this present moment going through something and, working through your shadow stuff at the moment, that would be probably a really nice one to help you get into that space, okay, of mindfulness. Okay, like I say, there's a lot more to it, so that's why it's good to just Google it and see what else it can help you with. Okay, and then the Seraphis green quartz, which is 50. That's an interesting one, because there's a lot of different ones out there. So the essential meaning of this one is life on life's terms. I don't know how to pronounce this word. Joie de vivre. And acceptance of our place in the world, heaven on earth, what is meant to be. And that's kind of where it's like with harmony is how sometimes when I'm thinking about that when I'm for myself, it's like it's just everything it's in its place, and it's meant to be where it is, and I'm just going to go with the flow with it, and that's how that's how I see it when I'm in that place of harmony, when everything's flowing, and it is what it is meant to be. And we are here on heaven on earth. So if you're a little bit out of whack, out of kilter with that, that could actually help you through to ground yourself and stay here. And and then as you're processing things, cool. That's really nice. And malachite. Now this one came up for somebody, for a star sign the other day, twice, two of them actually. I can't remember who that were. Oh, 34. Okay, malachite. So, in the essential meaning here is clarity of thought and emotions, the right use of intellect, integrating thoughts and intuition, which is really, important. And when we're doing the shadow work with ourselves and clearing some bits and pieces. I'm saying bits and pieces because, sometimes we can overthink things and put too much on it. Right. Okay. So now, where are we going? Spirit? Where are we going? So there is a lot of healing there this month that, and even through last month, that a lot of shifting as well, which is really kind of nice. That's kind of the feeling. It's like I'm in this really nice space, and it's in just what I've just maybe crossed my mind about when I'm doing readings, to like just that that when I'm doing readings, that sometimes I might express it like I am that star sign. I'm actually Gemini, but because of my empathic side, I often talk as though I am like Scorpio right now. So, and that's why you will hear me say I, or yeah, or we, because I think I'm feeling into the energy of whatever star sign I'm doing reading for. Cool. Right. Okay, so some of you may be like, indecisive about something too. Okay, so this one is going to come out. So these cards are the Archangel cards of Doreen Virtue's deck. So some of you may be, some of you are indigo children and maybe not think that you are, like spiritual and that sort of stuff, but we are all spiritual, remember that, and we are all connected to the God source. It's just whether we choose to like go there, allow that, or the divine source, whatever it is that you want to call it. And then I feel like some of you, yeah, so because what this card has come up as like indigo children and crystal children. So even in like my generation, because I'm 55, even in my generation, I do, I believe that we are, there is indigo children in this generation as well. Some people believe that it's the children after me. So like, for instance, my children's generation. But yeah, I tend to feel and believe, from my discussions with Spirit, that actually we are all indigo children and crystal children. Not even, it's just like we are all, intuitive, and we are all spiritual. But there are some of us are more attuned or in tune with it than others. It's, and so, but we all have our intuitive energy for us, to do whatever it is that we do. And not all of us are going to be mediums, or not all of us are going to be mechanics. Not all of us are going to be, singers, or play in a band, even though we would all probably, a lot of us, including myself, would love to sing, but I can't sing for crap. So it's like, like out on a stage, I'd have to really super train my voice to do that. If I really wanted to do that, but it's not my my calling, really. So anyway, and this card has just fallen out. And so relationship harmony. So there may be some of yous out there that why this is out, because this is harmony here as well as more on a relationship level that we seem to be connecting into. This is Archangel Raguel, and we angels are opening the hearts of everyone involved. Arguments and conflicts are being resolved now, or now being resolved. So it's just like, yeah, allowing yourself to feel that and go there and explore, explore how are you actually, basically. So it's just going really nice and quiet now. So in order to reach that harmonic space, or any space that when we're wanting to move on and evolve, we really need to go in there and suss out what it is that why we aren't going there, and move forward and move past it into the future. But so it's not like I'm leaving that on a damper note. It's because for me, it's all an amazing journey, and in my experiences, it's like I get really excited about learning about myself, so I can be a better version of me, or a nicer version of me, and just like and not carry this other stuff that especially like in the earlier days, like years ago. Sorry, I've just kind of lost track where I was going there. It's like it's so much nicer being on this side, of my emotions and how I work with them, and not letting myself get carried away with it, to being in a space that doesn't serve me, and it doesn't allow me to live my life the way I choose to live it. And I chose to work through that, all that stuff. And anyway, I'm going to leave that with you. And you have an amazing, harmonious October, rest of October, and I shall catch up with you again in the beginning of November. So bye for now.